In gaming, the term meta stands for most effective tactics available, and while this concept can be applied to all areas of life, it's often used by League of Legends players to publicly harass anyone on their team for not following it, but I personally have always felt like it's more fun when there isn't a clear meta. For example, my nipples harden up a little when I see new Korean builds that might be hidden OP, or when a weird champ gets picked in the otherwise snooze fest known as pro play.
Any champion. Listen. No.
But Riot sees this excitement in its players and obviously must put an end to it, which is why recently I have been seeing changes that are forcing a playstyle or a build and thus enforcing a one-dimensional meta with no room for interpretation. Just to name a few, Katara has clunky crit benefits, Sivir now has frisbees that scale with crit, Captain Jack Sparrow's rumkegs slow based off of crit, Zeri and Kai'Sa got their AP ratios cancelled, and while I don't think these weird builds were ever more than a fun alternative way to still be competitive, Riot has made it clear that there's a specific way they want you to play their game, and once I got word they would be trying to unfund Caitlyn away from one-shot builds, I knew what I had to do. Rock this fuzzy cuffed mall cop with all full lethality items and make a revolution against Riot Caitlyn montage. First I had to lock her in mid to go against Riot's recommendation to stick her down on the corner of Babysit a Support Street and I Hate My Life Avenue, where I first looked to make the Roman Glad slightly sad with a net into anchor to face combo. 300? More like 300 stupid Spartan. Yeah, let's add that clip to the montage. Then I'm at 2 items, so a little limit test of the lethality ace of the a-hole, and why not publicize Aatrox not taking a bullet for his buddy, so I'll add that too. Baker Boy finds my bear trap, so I show him why getting caught flat-footed is ill-advised, but he puts a rubber on before I can finish, and this particular one doesn't exactly turn out too well, so I'm thinking that one doesn't make the cut.
5 minutes later.
Yes, that's a keeper, add that. And finally I remember that one play where it looks like one ace went up 2 different a-holes, so let's finish it off with that, and I think I got everything I need to be petty towards Riot. Let me just export this, throw some tunes over it, and voila, the finished product. This one for all the gamers out there stuck in an elo they feel is below them. Hard Stuck is the name, let's get it. I load up League, getting ready to spank. First game, my support says he mains Blitzcrank. GG, I said, that's LP in the bank, but my top locks yes, and you know his head is blank, as he runs it down top and feeds their team's gangplank. Hold BL game 1 lane Yasuo is to thank, cause taking grasp on K doesn't mean I'm the tank. I'm hard stuck. That's what all the haters say. I'm hard stuck, giving all my LP away. I'm hard stuck, same rank different day, cause elo hell's my home and I'm here to stay. I'm hard stuck, that's what all the haters say. I'm hard stuck, giving all my LP away. I'm hard stuck, same rank different day, cause elo hell's my home and I'm here to stay. Hard stuck, you suck, bad luck. Hard stuck, you suck, bad luck. Hard stuck. Side note, everything you saw with automatic recording of highlights and clipping them into a condensed video is free, and that's simple without played. You simply tell it what parts of your games you want to capture, and let it automatically find those moments for you without having to re-watch entire games or edit them together yourselves on some overpriced awful editing software. The best part is it's all 100% free, and you can export your creations straight to your socials, so use my link in the description to get it today, where you can use it for all of these games and start capturing your clips in the best way without played. Anyways, I still wanted to show that Riot won't brainwash me into following metas, so I figured I would rock their newest water-bending creation and take her in a solo lane without any crit to just doubly stick it to the man. And I like that the enemy top laner was giving Riot meta the bird with Thresh too, but unfortunately my initial Nyla gameplay was how some commenters would say, painful to watch. I couldn't kill this dumb bird Hitler if he was popcorn deep fried and served to me on a platter, not to mention my accuracy was highly MIA. Every time I thought I was gonna suck these kids into my watery butthole of burst, I had to deal with Colonel Sanders and his Secret Serviceman cock blocking me into oblivion. Pair that with the fact that everything I did was almost depressing to watch at this point, until I hit my rift rock bottom when PC from 2003 Nunu flat out ignored my presence, rolled straight past me like I was the short ugly dude at the bar just to kill my friend, and then turn around and give me the attention that I didn't exactly want at that point. So take one to tell Riot to suck it with Nyla was deemed a failure. Game 2 they picked freaking Teemo top, and I just knew from the beginning that shitter would be stealthed and waiting to do it to me, because Teemo players are just sus.
And as y'all can tell, I'm very excited. Check the outfit, the Teemo hat, the tank top. Holy smokes, I am ready. The reason why I'm so freaking excited
is that he was gonna pull this hide and seek blind me bullshit all game until we lost and I wanted to jump off a bridge. But then I discovered I can go mid and build lethality with more success. And watching this first clip I'm belly laughing at this auction. Like my ass is already off when I realize only in the current state of league can a level 1 walk all the way past the wave to take a dumbass trade when the entire Blue Robe Academy of crack babies is whipping shit at him the entire time and still freaking win it. But I guess the silver lining here was that stupidity was a character trait in this guy, so eventually he wore himself out until I could just dash a few times and he would die. Anyways, our bot lane is doing their best bank teller who's getting robbed impersonation and just handing out all kinds of money, but Bollywood boy is blind, so say hello to pre-daddy rework dear, because I'm sure at least some of you already miss him as we embark on what I in hindsight am now deeming the biggest waste of my time ever since downloading this piss pit of a game back in 2011, which gave me an entire tour of this ratchet ass rift until I was rewarded at the end with a goose egg and a sack of regrets. Anyways, I'm positioning to pop a pissy plant when I give bot lane the green light to do something stupid so that I could come in like the empowered female hero character and waterboard Obama's wife to death, but turns out when I said pick a losing fight my bot said they were about 8 minutes ahead of me, as Vayne was bigger than Karina Koff's tits at this point and she sure as shit was making mad money off of them. But apparently all of unemployed Aladdin's wards were used up in the 9 paragraphs of his passive, so he was more blind than a mole rat. That's a play on words with the word ward in case you need to listen to it again. But once again we are chasing this rope swinging shit stain all over the world until he finally pisses off. And at this point Vayne is basically like Andrew Tate, and I drew social media platform out of the charades box, so I have to take any means necessary to shut her down regardless of the consequences afterwards, which I don't think added anything to this video, so I cut them out, but I survived. While my team was busy doing girth of dick diff comparisons off camera, I was setting up just another reason why I list proficiency in masturbating on my resume, because no one does it better, and you can ask this high noon stapler sniper if you need a reference, and if you need multiple I'm sure Gosu over here can testify to me slurping boogers while he fell for my trap as well. I now have 2 crit less items, desperately trying to show that you can go against Riot's rules, because it's clear the most addicted ones in their player base have clearly lost their mind, so I'm motivated and on a mission to prove that I can solo kill a support even if it means trespassing on a private property without communicating with my mom that I would need picked up afterwards, so the color on my screen goes missing, and then that snarky dead bitch does what they all do in this situation in asking me to reflect on my actions. But not a minute later she gets caught between a rock and a hard place, the hard place being the raging boner I have in my waterbender trousers, knowing this kill is more free than the alternatives to OnlyFans. Just an FYI for you morons still paying to see some nipples out there. Then everyone is gossiping over the latest conspiracy theories because they saw a picture of Joe Biden's earlobes looking fucked up until Vayne decides to start playing a violent game of peekaboo, so I take one for the team by doing my best to catch her in my watered down Diana ult, which works like an Ari charm, and then because this is silver, instead of taking objectives or pushing with Baron buff, we all have our floppy donkey dicks out looking to pull off the dumbest dive of the day, and I am all for it. Except for the fact that I'm like 90% of people who protest things and that I show up where I'm supposed to, but then I'm not exactly sure what I should be doing, so I kind of just stroll around acting like I'm angry about something, and then I leave as all my friends get arrested. Including this because my toddler-sized brain thought it was satisfying. I'm now just roaming around in the forest with no clue how to spend my time when I see the Statue of Liberty trying to deliver Niagara Falls to my co-workers, so I say hey, I bet exhaust would go well with that ult, and then I pull out my sex tassel water whackers for a few slaps right after. Reminder that Senna said something petty in chat to me, so no opportunity to murder her will be missed, but then Vayne does her best impersonation of me in high school. Practically invisible around girls and certainly never touched by one, so she gets away unharmed. But look at me doing God's work by killing the thing that stops our roided midgets from being birthed, and then League is like working a 9 to 5. It's less about what you accomplish and more about what you make it look like you accomplished, so I always make sure to have riffed Alexa say I was responsible for things that I wasn't super involved with, and the only problem with that approach is when you are asked to perform while they are watching, you might accomplish nothing and are left running for your life. Anyways, it's worth mentioning we had a Fed Fiora, which means I could have just put my feet up and tabbed back out and focused on figuring out how the hell I'm gonna start making GTA RP content with TTS to take my brand outside of just shitty League, but I had to at least pretend I was still contributing, because after all this video was about showing Riot that we don't have to follow their rules to succeed, even if I had to edit out 30 failed attempts in doing so. Please subscribe to give me false validation and confidence in life. Rav out. Stuck. You suck. Bad luck. Hard stuck.